everybody, it's Larry and welcome to today's video, and this is the first in the beginner series of videos, and it's a very simple one. It's how to sign up with Ancestry, but it has information at the end that every single user from Ancestry, FTDNA, MyHeritage, basically any website that you use, you're going to want to know the information, and we're going to make your life a lot easier. So let's get right to it. If you're going to create a new account on Ancestry, you go to the top right hand corner of the page where it says sign in. We're going to click on that. Now it doesn't have an underline when you hover over it, so you might not see it as a link, but you know the mouse changes to a hand. That kind of tells you. All right, it's going to ask for your username and password, but we don't have one yet because we haven't signed up. Below where you click to sign in, it says not a member yet. Okay, right next to it, you see this where you see the line come up as we go across it. That is a link, and that says sign up today for free. So we're going to click on sign up today for free. And for those of you who are expert level, this is actually all levels, but this is the beginner level thing. So we're going to put in our first name and our last name and enter your email address. Now it's going to ask you to enter that email address again to make sure you typed it correctly. And now we get into the create password, and this is the part that everybody can use. It says it must be 8 characters long, contain at least one number, contain at least one letter or special character, and then right here, must not be a well-known or common password. So for those of you out there who had to create this 8-digit and had to have numbers, and your password's ABCD 1 2 3 4, change your password now. And I know there's some of you who are listening to this that is your password, or you just went ABCD EFGH 1. Change that. You've got a common password. Now, I'm going to tell you, and this is for everybody, I'm going to tell you how to make passwords for websites, Ancestry and all of them included, that are strong and secure and easy to remember. And you're going to want to use different ones for every site, but I'm going to tell you how you can do it. What you want is you want to use a small phrase. That's right, not a word, a phrase, because phrases are easy to remember and it needs to be something associated with the website. And we're going to add in what's called leet speak. Okay, that's something that hackers would do, but it actually works really well for creating passwords. Now what leet speak is that is a substitution of numbers for certain letters of the alphabet, particularly the vowels. So let's say our phrase here is going to be I love Ancestry. Okay, well, those of you who are older like me and actually did typing on typewriters, some of you, like myself, actually probably used a manual typewriter, and remember how the keys used to stick. So instead of using the number 1, we would use what? We would use an I, a capital I, or we'd use a lowercase l in place of a 1. That was very common in typing. Plus, you know, it was easier on the fingers to reach that, and it didn't jam up the keys. So leet speak is like that. So for I love Ancestry, the letter I would be substituted with the number 1. And then we do capital L, because we have to have a capital. And then the O would be a 0, V. E would be a 3. And why is it going to be a 3? Well, if you write the number 3 and you turn it around, it looks kind of like an E. Okay? So that's why that's a E is a 3 in leet speak. And then Ancestry, the A, well, in the old days, remember how you wrote a 4? You know, you put the pen down, you went up to the left and to the right, and that made you a 4 without bringing the pen off the paper. Well, that looks a lot like an A, and so A's and 4s are interchangeable. And then C, E would be a 3, S, T, R, Y. I love Ancestry. Now, the thing about that is, because I said I love Ancestry, and this is the Ancestry website, that's really easy to remember. And you can have your own beginning phrase, you know, this is fun Ancestry, this is fun FTDNA, you know, whatever initial phrase that you want, and change it pertaining to that website. That's going to give you nice, strong passwords. I mean, really, really strong. And the longer you are, the better. If it's over 8 characters, you know, the better, because if you have below 8 characters, a random generator of letters and numbers can get it in a fairly short amount of time. So that's why everybody now says you have to have a password of 8 characters. But if you use a phrase and you use that letter number substitution, and you can create your own if you're like me and young, and I used to create ciphers, you know, the whole Sherlock Holmes thing. You can create your own substitution, but just to make it easy, I just use LeetSpeak because, a 3 and an E is easy to remember, a 4 and an A is easy to remember, an O and a 0 easy to remember, a 1 and an I easy to remember. So if you'll replace those in your sentence, okay? So just as an example right here, let's just look at this word where it says already. Already, so that would be a 4L and then R3 4DY. And so you can change any word, any phrase into a very complex password that you can remember. Okay, so for those of us who are getting up in age, remembering those passwords sometimes can be a challenge. But if you have this as your methodology and you have a sentence or a phrase that you can remember per website, maybe something about that website that you enjoy, and it's something your first thought that comes to mind about that website, and you change that into a LeetSpeak phrase, every time you come to that site, that comes to your mind and the phrase comes to you immediately. It's a very handy way to create very powerful passwords. All right, so once you've entered the password, and you'll be asked to confirm it. Once you've confirmed it, you'll click continue, and you'll be signed up with an account on Ancestry, and it'll take you back to the home page. And that is where we'll begin the next video.